is Fox 28 News at 10.
First at 10, the Savannah Police Department arresting 2 suspects in connection to the Ellis Square mass shooting that left 11 people hurt. Inmate records from the Chatham County Detention Center say that 18-year-old Kazari Cooper and 20-year-old Jordan Caleb Jones were arrested yesterday in connection to that May 18th incident. Cooper is charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and possession of a firearm during a felony. Jones is charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and 4 counts of possession of a firearm during a felony. Savannah police say that more information is soon to be released. The South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control is advising everyone to take care of their pets in awareness of rabies. DHEC has confirmed they found a raccoon that tested positive for rabies. 2 dogs will have to be quarantined as required by state health care procedures. Now, state health leaders are giving out useful tips to keep everyone and their pets safe. They advise keeping a safe distance from wild animals, as there have been 29 cases of rabid animals statewide this year. Tonight we're seeing clear skies with plenty of sunshine coming for the weekend. Fox 28 Chief Meteorologist Tommy House joins us with the details.
Live look outside right now across the southeast. Notice minimal cloud cover and no rain for us. Coastal Empire and low country, southeastern Georgia, South Carolina. This is just some radar feedback you're seeing here. We will be dry all throughout our Friday night, and that's going to be the trend into the weekend. Next 12 hours, temperatures cooling down to the mid to low 60s, feeling refreshing with very minimal levels of humidity. More sunshine than cloud cover. Looking at the pool forecast for your Saturday, winds will start off out of the east in the morning, shifting to the southeast by the afternoon, maybe even gusting up to 20 miles per hour. We'll stay a little bit cooler than where we usually are. Our normal high is 87, 84 for Saturday, 85 for Sunday, 86 Monday. Maybe some storms could return, though, as we head off into next week. Will they be severe? How much rain are we talking? Full details coming up in the next few minutes.
A violent month in Savannah caused some members of the community to walk for peace tonight. They walked along West 56th Street to show unity as a community. Now, several churches and community groups participated in this walk. The event's organizer, they say that the goal is to show how people in Savannah denounce violence. They're hopeful for a peaceful summer.
If we're truly going to be a community, let's work together and stomp out this thing called crime, this thing called violence, because violence is not a black or white issue. It's a human issue. And if we're human, we're supposed to fight for each other.
Organizers say they may hold similar events later in the summertime. The Port Wentworth Chamber of Commerce holding its annual golf tournament in hopes of raising some money to benefit some businesses. Local businesses and residents all came out for a golf tournament in efforts to raise money for the Chamber's efforts as well. Players were given awards and some lunch to go, along with a few hours of golf. Always a good day with that. Great weather for it as well. The Chamber provides networking outlets for businesses to help them grow and be more profitable.
It's important that people understand that the Chamber is there for businesses. We are advocates for them. We want to help them grow and be successful, and being involved in things like that just helps us to promote them further in the community as well.
You also can help out with Chamber of Commerce by visiting the website. You can find it right now over on our website, fox28savannah.com. Now for a programming note. This will be our last broadcast of Fox 28 Savannah News at 10, starting on Monday, June 3rd. You can watch the National Desk with the latest breaking news and investigative reports, as well as some fact-based political news. That's going to be right here at 10. Still ahead, 2 major water main breaks in Atlanta. The water outage still impacting customers tonight.
She's the bestie you wish you had.
I've never played Dungeons and Dragons with girls before.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. No one has.
A penny for your thoughts?
Do you like it? Do I like it? Wow!
The Big Bang Theory.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 28.
Houston.
Touchdown!
Memphis.
An amazing play.
The United Football League.
Sunday at 7 on Fox 28.
I've lived here my whole life. I used to sit with my granddaddy on his tractor harvesting peanuts right here before any of this was built. And now I've operated all 4 of these nuclear power units. To see how far we've come since I started in 1984 is incredible. Plant Vogtle is now the largest generator of clean energy in the United States. At Georgia Power, we're providing clean, safe, reliable, and affordable energy for all of Georgia.
We get it. When it comes to driving here, there's only two speeds. All out go and all out stopped. That's why you get a Honda. Athletic, stylish, has a low look at the gas mileage. And comfortable interiors that turn traffic jams into, oh, this is my jam. So stop what you're doing and go all out for the best deals at your local Honda dealer. Honda gets Savannah and the Low Country.
Lisa Vanderpump joins Gordon on Food Stars. Premieres May 22nd on Fox.
Two large water main breaks in Atlanta left some with very low water pressure today and others with no running water at all. One was a 48-inch transmission line directly connected to the city's water treatment plant. There's also a ruptured 32-inch water main. Officials issued a boil water advisory while crews work to repair the ruptures. DeKalb County Fire Rescues and a 3,000-gallon water tanker to assist with the outage. Families related to the victims of two Boeing plane crashes met with the Justice Department today, demanding accountability from top Boeing officials.
We want the truth. We want the justice, and we want someone to be prosecuted, not only Boeing. Because to me, the people that works on that Boeing, the leader of that person, Wallenberg, Birami, Calhoun, they are responsible. They have to be in court.
346 people died between the two crashes, the first in Indonesia, the second a year later in Ethiopia between 2018 and 2019. Boeing agreed to a $2.5 billion settlement in 2021 to avoid prosecution, but the DOJ 2 weeks ago says Boeing violated that agreement amid renewed scrutiny over January's mid-air blowout on an Alaskan Airlines flight. Now, federal prosecutors say they will announce how they plan to proceed no later than July 7th. More news around the nation. Hundreds of New York City high school students protesting the Israel-Hamas war today, gathering at the Tweed Courthouse. A large group of students from various New York City schools came together in protest. The group showing their support for the Palestinian people, holding Palestinian flags, posters, and wearing decorated clothing. Their stance on it. This protest in New York City comes as a majority of pro-Palestinian demonstrations and encampments on college campuses come to an end. The Texas Supreme Court unanimously rejects a challenge to the state's abortion ban. Now, the law bans all abortions except to save a mother's life or prevent the impairment of a major bodily function. Now, a group of women said that they were denied abortions even when pregnancy complications endangered their lives. Their challenge demanded more clarity on when exceptions are allowed, but the court says the exceptions are broad enough as written. Doctors who perform abortions can face life in prison, some major fines, and lose their state medical licenses.
For months, people all over the world have called for ceasefire. Now it's time to raise your voices and demand that Hamas come to the table, agrees to this deal, and end this war that they began.
The president there talking about some situations with the Hamas war. We'll have more details on that. But for right now, this UC Santa Cruz holding virtual classes today because of protests taking place all across the campus. There's no word, though. I don't know if any injuries took place because of the protests.
I'm Keila Gaskins in Washington. Coming up, we take a look at the legal fallout of Donald Trump's felony conviction.
Savannah's always been our home, and the Southern Motors family of dealerships have proudly served you for over 95 years.
We were Savannah's first Jeep dealer, and that's why we're so excited for the all-new Southern Motors Savannah Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Abercorn.
Now with our newest location, we want you to experience a bigger, better way to buy a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram with a whole new team with the same great values.
We have proudly served Savannah for over 95 years.
So come visit the all-new Southern Motors Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram
on Abercorn.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Win big with McDonald's $5.49 meal deal with your choice of sandwich plus McNuggets, fries, and a drink. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Relentless against insurance companies.
Relentless in great client experience. Relentless to get you paid more. Relentless at everything we do.
Call 1-800-LOG-1-441.
At Wendy's, you can get
an English muffin and seasoned potatoes for just $3.
with a light and fluffy toasted muffin.
And crispy potatoes, love.
Is this my breakfast? Yes, it is.
She bought it.
Grab a proper $3 Wendy's breakfast for a limited time.
And off you go. That's why AutoNation makes it easy to find the right car for wherever you're off to next. Shop and save on your favorite new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Go to the AutoNation store near you today or visit AutoNation.com. This news and weather update is sponsored by the Horn Law Firm. Big enough to help, small enough to care.
Release the ball!
The Quiz with Balls premieres Tuesday, May 28th on Fox.
Donald Trump railing against the historic guilty verdict handed down from a New York jury yesterday. Now, speaking from Trump Tower, also in New York, the former president called the judge conflicted and the trial rigged. Charges were a hoax in his mind. He denies falsifying any business records, claiming without proof, though, that the Biden administration is behind the whole thing. Now, Trump says he'll appeal that verdict, and he's willing to fight to save the Constitution.
And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future. But this is far beyond me. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency.
And to note, nothing about this case involved the U.S. Constitution. Trump also tested the limits of the gag order he's still under, prohibiting him from publicly commenting on witnesses. Well, he called Michael Cohen, his former attorney and the star witness, a, quote, sleazebag. The 2024 White House hopeful is convicted of trying to illegally influence the 2016 election by falsifying business records to hide a hush money payment to a porn actress claiming she had an affair with him. The Trump team is preparing to appeal as we start to get a sense of the legal fallout of Donald Trump's conviction. National correspondent Kayla Gaskins has more from Washington.
Donald Trump's felony conviction in Manhattan. Justice served or a kangaroo court? It depends who you ask.
I feel it's such a sweet vindication of the rule of law.
There's a lot that's happened over the past year that I think that Americans should look very hard at.
Critics taking issue with the charges themselves. Misdemeanors. DA Alvin Bragg ramped up to felonies.
There's no crime here. Nobody can figure out what the actual crime is.
And the judge, who the defense argues should have recused himself due to a conflict of interest with his daughter's company. But he didn't, and often ruled in the prosecution's favor.
He wouldn't allow us to have witnesses. He wouldn't allow us to talk. He wouldn't allow us to do anything.
Leading to allegations this is Democrats weaponizing the justice system against a Republican presidential candidate.
I woke up heartbroken for our country because the precedent set is that if you don't like somebody's politics, you should use the American system of law and order to try and destroy them. That's 250 years of legal tradition. The Biden folks are tearing it up to win an election, Wolf. That is what really bothers me.
On the other side, Democrats say this shows no one, not even presidents, are above the law.
I think we can feel proud that the system of justice and the rule of law within liberal democracy has survived.
Never Trump former Republicans agree.
This wasn't masterminded by Joe Biden. It's not the deep state. You're just a jury of Donald Trump's peers in New York looked at the evidence of the crimes he committed and found him guilty.
But some worry about the precedent just set.
We're going to see retaliation. We're going to see local DAs around the country start to indict Democrats and get local juries to do tit for tat.
House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan now demanding Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg testify about Trump's prosecution before Congress on June 13th. On Capitol Hill, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Tonight's low temperature is 64 in Savannah, upper 60s east of I-95. Notice farther inland, Screven, Hampton County getting down to the mid-50s. That's about 5 degrees cooler than where we should be. So open up those windows, turn off the AC. It'll feel great out there starting off your weekend morning tomorrow. Satellite and radar notice a lot of the rain is to our west, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. It's not severe, but coastal parts here of Georgia and South Carolina, we will be clear all throughout the night. A few clouds will work their way way in throughout the Saturday morning hours. 10 a.m. Notice on the immediate coastline, we're still in the low to mid 70s. 81 in Savannah. Quickly warming up across Chatham County toward the afternoon hours. That's when mid 80s will settle in for pretty much everyone. 3 p.m. 84 in Savannah, still 70s. Beaufort County down toward Tybee Island, sitting at 78 toward the afternoon. A bit of a sea breeze for the islands. By 7:30, cooling back down to the upper 70s and then 60s overnight as we progress into your Sunday. On a city-by-city look, 81 in Beaufort, 84 Savannah, mid-80s farther inland, 86 down in Alma. And Jessup, tea time forecast, no issues at all. We may have a few clouds toward the afternoon hours, but again, we will be dry. That's the trend all throughout the weekend. Low amounts of humidity, a bit cooler than where we should be. Honestly, A+, 10 out of 10 weekend is in the forecast. And even all throughout the rest of the weekend into next week, most of the rain throughout the weekend is in parts of Alabama and northern Georgia. A quick inch is definitely possible next Tuesday into Wednesday. We mentioned some daytime storms are in the cards, although most likely outdoor plans should be great. There's really no crazy outliers, and severe weather is not necessarily in the forecast as of now. We're going to see temperatures continue to warm up, especially closer to the coast of the southeast down toward Florida. Below average temperatures for Tennessee, northern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. But again, the big trend for us is going to be slightly warming weather into next week and maybe a rumble here or there, but low confidence. I'm talking about maybe 20%. If that. Tomorrow, 84 degrees for your Saturday, mostly sunny conditions, and it will be pleasant and refreshing. What I mean by that is when you have low dew point numbers, right? Not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. You're not going to feel that stickiness in the air. It'll feel pretty great, but that will return. Oof, look at that. Next 7 days brought to you by Horn Law Firm. 84 for your Friday, 86 for your Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll see temperatures slowly crawl back up. Those overnight lows returning to the 70s and 90s. Could it be excessive heat late next week? Well, the models are indicating mid-90s are definitely in the cards. The big story, though, is notice for the most part, dry stretch will be sticking around. I want to thank all of you at FOX28 for watching me provide all sorts of weather updates for you here in Savannah. Make sure to check out my social medias, Tommy House Weather. It was a pleasure to serve all of you. I'm going to send it right back to you.
Taking a look at stories around the world now, Israel has offered Hamas a new roadmap to ending or an enduring ceasefire. Now, President Biden laying out those details, urging the militant group to agree to them. The proposal has 3 phases. First would last about 6 weeks, including a complete ceasefire and full withdrawal of Israeli forces and the exchange of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and American hostages. That period would allow hundreds of thousands of temporary shelters to be delivered along with humanitarian aid. Now, phase 2 marks a permanent end to hostilities, which will require lengthy negotiations still. Phase 3 involves a major reconstruction plan for Gaza.
This is truly a decisive moment. Israel has made their proposal. Hamas says it wants a ceasefire. This deal is an opportunity to prove whether they really mean it. Hamas needs to take the deal.
And the president says Israel has devastated Hamas to the point it is no longer capable of carrying out another attack similar to October 7th. An indefinite war will only drain Israel's resources. He says only a comprehensive ceasefire will bring hostages home and lead to lasting security.
Dr. Anthony Fauci expected to appear in front of Congress next week as questions about the origins of the COVID virus remain. I'm Matt Gelka in Washington, and I'll have the story coming up.
In the dark of night, 4 Border Patrol agents were confronted by a group of illegal aliens. Suddenly and without warning. This is the danger our Border Patrol faces each year. Yet Nancy Mace voted to halt the pay of more than 19,000 border agents who put their lives on the line. That's not conservative. That's the real Nancy Mace. South Carolina Patriots PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It might seem strange to see an attorney carrying a client's groceries, but I think it's strange when attorneys don't recognize their clients in the grocery store. After meeting Tamesia, I learned just how much she struggled with a car accident and being pregnant.
Thank you, dear.
Tamesia is also in graduate school, raising a toddler, and lives on a second-floor apartment with no elevator. She deserves and needs to meet her attorney. Plus, I like helping with the groceries. The Horn Law Firm. Big enough to help, small enough to care.
The future is here. We've been creating it for more than 100 years. From the most advanced technology to the broadest, most reliable network of sales and service dealers. Always moving forward. We lead, others follow.
Just go. Lowercase b. Oh. Use a strong password.
Trying to remember a strong password is hard. Hiring Morgan & Morgan for your injury is easy.
Too many attempts.
Morgan & Morgan. The choice is easy. And Doug.
Limu, someone needs to customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Let's fly. Chief.
Doug.
I thought you were right behind me. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Mulder, it's not just me. Nobody in their right mind will ever believe that story.
Get crazy with the X-Files. Weeknights starting at 9, 8 Central on Comet.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama's mother, Marianne Robinson, has died. Her family released a statement saying she passed away peacefully this morning and that they're heartbroken. Robinson was a fixture in the White House during Barack Obama's 8 years in office. She mainly spent her time there caring for her granddaughters, Sasha and Malia, keeping a low profile otherwise, except for a few holiday events and the occasional trip overseas. A longer tribute on Facebook, Michelle referred to her mother as a calm and non-judgmental witness to our triumphs and our stumbles. Robinson was 86. Congress gets back to business in Washington next week. Things are, or they could start off with a bang, honestly. As national correspondent Matt Galka tells us, Dr. Anthony Fauci is expected to testify in front of lawmakers as questions about the origins of the coronavirus remain.
Dr. Anthony Fauci will have been out of government for almost a year and a half when he appears before Congress next week, but he's not off the GOP's radar.
Dr. Fauci was the figure. He was the guy. He put himself in charge.
We spoke with Ohio Congressman Brad Wenstrup, who chairs the Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic, ahead of Fauci's testimony.
Dr. Fauci even said at one point, if you disagree with me, then you disagree with science. No, science actually looks at all possibilities. True science does, and start to build facts.
Wenstrup wants Fauci to turn over private emails and cell phone records from when he was captaining the U.S.'s response to the virus.
Do you solemnly swear?
The committee already grilled one of Fauci's top advisors in May. Dr. David Morenz openly talked about ducking records requests, remarking about other officials, and messaging Dr. Fauci on his private email to shield it from public records laws.
I've already apologized for making snarky and profane comments, but I made them thinking that they were made on my private email in a manner that was just between a small group of friends.
The messages fueled speculation that a theory COVID originated in a lab was being suppressed, while the theory it jumped from animal to man was being pushed. Do you think there's a smoking gun anywhere?
Well, I don't know if there's a smoking gun. I'd say probably the biggest smoking gun in all of this, there may be two things. One is what actually happened in China, which they'll have that smoking gun and we may never have that. But two, why were we trying to create a single narrative? What was the motive behind that?
Dr. Fauci sat for a written interview with the committee earlier this year where he was grilled on some COVID policies, including 6 feet apart social distancing and whether or not it was actually backed by science. Expect more of that come Monday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Galka.
Still to come, a look at a study linking extreme heat to premature births.
Ashley's Memorial Day mattress sale is going on now. Hurry to your local Ashley store to shop mattress hot buys for cooler nights. And for a limited time, you can save $1,000 on select Sealy mattresses. Or for a limited time, get 0% interest for up to 72 months with select in-store mattress purchases. The best Memorial Day mattress deals are going on now. Visit your local Ashley store for better sleep and savings. Only at Ashley.
We get it. When it comes to driving here, there's only two speeds. All out go and all out stopped. That's why you get a Honda. Athletic, stylish, has hello look at the gas mileage. And comfortable interiors that turn traffic jams into, oh, this is my jam. So stop what you're doing and go all out for the best deals at your local Honda dealer. Honda gets Savannah and the Low Country.
Dad, are you certain this is going to work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Each case is different, and each accident or any kind of incident affects people in different ways. And I think for the attorney, it's important to look into those issues, ask the right questions, and spend the time with the client. They're seeking answers, and the conversation comes with those answers.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Win big with McDonald's $5.49 meal deal with your choice of sandwich plus McNuggets, fries, and a drink. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
We want to take a moment to recognize and honor all of the brave men and women in our country who have protected and are continuing to protect our rights, our freedom, and our country. We encourage our viewers to find a way to show support towards our troops and veterans. We also want to give a special thanks to the businesses in our community who sponsored this special piece.
Wallenius Wilhelmsen proudly supports the men and women that continues to fight for our country and freedom.
This is Fox 28 News at 10.
We're looking at a pleasant weekend ahead, and Fox 28 Chief Meteorologist Tommy House joins us with a closer look.
Live look outside right now across the southeast. Notice minimal cloud cover and no rain for us. Coastal Empire and low country, southeastern Georgia, South Carolina. This is just some radar feedback you're seeing here. We will be dry all throughout our Friday night, and that's going to be the trend into the weekend. Next 12 hours, temperatures cooling down to the mid to low 60s, feeling refreshing with very minimal levels of humidity. More sunshine than cloud cover. Looking at the pool forecast for your Saturday, winds will start off out of the east in the morning, shifting to the southeast by the afternoon, maybe even gusting up to 20 miles per hour. We'll stay a little bit cooler than where we usually are. Our normal high is 87, 84 for Saturday, 85 for Sunday, 86 Monday. Maybe some storms could return, though, as we head off into next week. Will they be severe? How much rain are we talking? Full details coming up in the next few minutes.
A new study is linking heat waves to an increase in the number of women giving birth early. Well, the World Health Organization says researchers looked at 53 million births across the 50 most populous U.S. metropolitan areas over 25 years, so from 93 to 2017. The study found the rates of preterm or early-term births slightly increased after pregnant women experienced high temperatures for more than 4 consecutive days. It also found early-term infants who were delivered between 37 and 38 weeks of gestation at a higher mortality rate than those who were born 39 or 40 weeks. Now, the research is especially concerning since extreme heat is forecast for this summer following record-breaking high temperatures last year. Tonight, trouble facing South Carolina's largest employer, the timber industry. Lumber mills are closing, leaving loggers with nowhere to drop their harvest. In a Fox 28 special report, I take a look at the backlog that loggers are now facing and the impact it could have on the Palmetto State's forests. Pine trees in Andrews destined to become paper.
It changes daily and hourly, really.
That's logger Donnie Lambert with Leo Lambert Logging. Right now, his harvest has no clear destination. It's the new normal after roughly a year since West Rock's mill closed at the Charleston port.
We are the biggest industry in South Carolina, but right now it's kind of falling off a little bit.
With the shutdowns of the mills, it's the ripple effect.
Brad Janes with the Timber Producers Association, like Lambert, has invested nearly 50 years in the logging business. He tells me 2023 was the toughest year he's ever seen for South Carolina loggers.
With the closing of West Rock and North Charleston, Sunoco Products Company in Hartsville changing to 100% recycled material to make their products and not take raw wood fiber. Then we had 2 machines shut down in Riegelwood, North Carolina.
On top of that, Evergreen's plant closed in Canton, North Carolina, straining the upstate's pulpwood logging industry.
We've lost loggers in the state because of the mill shuts.
He says when the remaining lumber and paper mills get backed up, a literal logjam leaves loggers scrambling for options. When West Rock closed, Lambert says that left 100 loads of lumber a week in limbo.
We really need a few more outlets to carry the wood. I mean, if we had another couple of mills to open up around within 100, 150 miles, it would ease a lot of pressure.
It's a request timber harvesters sent to state lawmakers back in March. Advocates shared how the mill closures have taken an axe to the industry.
We're at a critical point in time. We're already experiencing job losses. The overall economic impact of the state of South Carolina from the forestry industry is declining and declining fast.
The South Carolina Forestry Commission says forestry is the #1 job provider in the state and second in the state for economic impact behind tourism. But data from the Bureau of Economic Analysis in 2023, it shows an 85% drop in product value, the largest decline of any state in the nation that year. With profits thinning, advocates worry so could forests across the Palmetto State.
If we don't have the proper incentive for landowners to monetize what's on their land, then they are going to do other things with it.
For every tree harvested, James says 5 more are planted. What's meant to be a sustainable industry has run low on options for processing lumber in our neck of the woods.
If you get caught in the middle here, it's too far to go to Savannah, it's too far to go to Wilmington, so you don't have a market.
Janes adds a task force is working to find relief, lobbying to see a new port for forest-based products come to the Palmetto State.
And it's going to take time. I mean, it's not going to be an overnight answer.
All Lambert and loggers across the state can do is wait for the next order to come in, the next road to grow to maturity, and to hope that the timber economy turns around. Now, a key issue industry stakeholders wanted state lawmakers to address in this past session in Columbia was the ongoing insurance crisis. They say log trucks, operators at least, have been hit hard with premium increases. Now, the only piece of legislation that could have addressed the insurance issue stalled in the SC Senate.
I'm Janae Bones in Washington with a brewing complicated coffee controversy over decaf.
Watch and win from home. Weeknights at 5 on FOX28.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox. I mean, just feast your eyes on this. Because if baseball is as American as apple pie, then Fox Saturday Baseball was one heck of a slice. And with these guys on the menu, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and make some room for a big old helping. With a cherry on top. Come on, it's Saturday.
Some politicians just want to talk tough on the border. But Catherine Templeton got the job done. In South Carolina, she wrote the strongest immigration law in the country.
When I was Secretary of Labor, we actually cracked down on sanctuary cities.
In Congress, she'll do the same. Catherine Templeton will stand with President Trump's border policies, build the wall, and secure the southern border. The Low Country needs consistent conservative. Catherine Templeton. WFW Action Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, I'm O.C. Welch, president of O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln. Right now, lease a 2023 Lincoln Corsair for just $499 a month. That's right, $499 is all you pay. Or buy a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus for just $46,999. $46,999 is all you pay. That's only at O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln, Highway 278 in Hardyville, South Carolina. Thank you very much. May God bless America.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Sleep Number does that.
Can I help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that. 94% of smart sleepers report better sleep. Save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus 0% interest for 48 months when you add an adjustable base. Shop now at sleepnumber.com.
Sunday at 7 on Fox 28.
A product for helping elderly or immobile patients at their bedside is being recalled for safety and potential death risks. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says 2 Medline bed assist bar models, 1.5 million units, in fact, in all, are all being recalled by Medline Industries. Now, the agency says users can fall inside the bed rail or between the rail and mattress, risking entrapment hazards as well as asphyxiation. Now, 2 related senior deaths actually have been reported to the CPSC. The impacted bed assist bars were sold from July 2009 to March 2024 on Medline's websites at major retailers as well, including Amazon and Walmart. Consumers should immediately stop using them and contact Medline for a refund. A debate brewing over how decaf coffee is made. Critics are calling for a ban now on the most common method that uses a chemical that the government says can potentially increase your risk of developing cancer. The National Desk, Janae Bowens, breaks down the concerns.
The U.S. has got a complicated coffee controversy over decaf.
Studies show that 70% of consumers of decaffeinated coffee are pregnant women or people with health conditions, like heart disease.
Jackie Bowen with the Clean Label Project is working to ban the European method of decaffeinating coffee that includes a potential carcinogen called methylene chloride.
As a mom-to-be, it was just especially pressing and concerning issue that I wanted to take up on behalf of unborn babies as well as pregnant women.
The European method is the most popular way to decaffeinate coffee. The coffee beans are steamed and then rinsed with methylene chloride. The Clean Label Project, the Environmental Defense Fund, and others are advocating for the Swiss water process, which decaffeinates coffee without the potentially harmful chemical.
There is a lot of evidence on that. There is evidence that it causes kidney effects, liver effects, and at higher levels, it can cause neurological effects. So the question is, why allow this in your food at all?
The government has banned this chemical from things like paint removers. But on the other side of this decaf dilemma, experts say since the amount of the chemical in these cups of joe is so small, there's no harm.
It's affirmed as safe by the U.S. government as well as by the European Union, which has one of the most respected food safety systems in the world, and by other governments around the world. About 10% of American adults drink decaf every day, again, the majority of which is made using the European method, and there's no evidence of any risk to them from it.
If you're concerned about the things in your food that are going to make you sick, I would worry about, all the added salt that is in our food, all the trans fats.
The government does limit how much of this chemical can be in decaf coffee at 10 parts per million, but the critics say the 1985 regulation is outdated and have petitioned the government to ban it. I'm Janae Bowens reporting.
The historic conviction of former President Trump triggering an outburst of political reaction. I'm Atrell Nashar with how it could impact voters come November.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Drive new Subaru models with 2.9% financing for 72 months at AutoNation Subaru.
One of the questions I'm often asked is, what's my case worth? Of course, that depends on your injuries. We try more accident cases to verdict than any firm in America.
Out of nowhere, I just got rear-ended. I reached out to Morgan & Morgan directly from the scene. Morgan & Morgan got my initial offer 10x'd.
When it came to negotiating, they didn't just settle for anything. They definitely went to bat for me. It's just like they cared about me.
Numbers don't lie. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird. With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. V value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. U, get 2 pairs of free eye exam and anti-glare lenses for only $79.
Hello, I'm Phil Sanders, and I'm the speaker on In Search of the Lord's Way. I'm here each week with a Bible-based message relevant to these troubling times. We're here through the generous support of several churches of Christ in this area, and they'd love to have you visit them and attend their Bible classes and worship assemblies. Please, won't you join us this week?
Join Phil Sanders in Search of the Lord's Way.
At Fair and Farah, we fight for people from all walks of life. It doesn't matter how much money you have, we fight.
It doesn't matter what neighborhood you call home, we fight. Helping those who need it most. It's our promise and #1 goal. Putting the clients first is greater than our own success. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count.
Fair and Farah, accept no substitute.
Jamie Foxx is back. An all-new season of Beat Shazam, May 28th on Fox.
President Biden says Donald Trump's conviction in New York reaffirms that no one is above the law. Biden emphasizing the state trial's jury was made up of regular Americans, and Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself.
That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Biden notes, just like everyone else, Trump now has the right to appeal. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he is outraged after former President Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in New York. Now Johnson accusing Democrats of using the justice system to go after a political opponent.
What happened there is easily appealable. It will be overturned on appeal, and I think that they understood that on the front end. But the objective was to be able to call the Republican nominee for president a convicted felon, and I think that's outrageous, and I think most of the American people understand that.
Trump has also blasted the verdict as rigged. President Biden pushing back earlier today, calling Trump's rhetoric dangerous. The hush money case was filed by local prosecutors in Manhattan who do not work for the Justice Department nor any White House official. It's impossible at this point to know what, if any, impact this will have on the presidential election, but both the Trump and the Biden campaigns have a similar message. It's more important than ever that voters turn out in November. National correspondent Audra Elnashar reports.
An angry former president and now convicted felon sounding off from Trump Tower Friday morning.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial. So we're going to show them that we're going to fight. It's actually, I don't know, it's something where I'm wired in such a way that a lot of people would have gone away a long time ago.
Both the Trump and Biden campaigns were quick to fundraise off the verdict, Trump calling himself a political prisoner despite not being sentenced yet. His campaign claims to have raised almost $35 million Thursday. The Biden team tells supporters there is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box. The president saying this from the White House.
Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. And it's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
As for whether it helps or hurts Trump's chances in November, it's anyone's guess.
I mean, I'm hearing people say, I had no intention of voting for Donald Trump, and now I am.
Let's not underestimate that there is a problem. Think about this. Those numbers are like 11%, less likely to vote for him.
We will make America stronger.
The verdict is expected to energize Trump's base, so the question is, will it sway swing voters? Polls give mixed answers. According to an NPR PBS Marist poll released Thursday morning, well, 2/3 of overall voters say it won't make a difference. 11% of independent voters say they'd be less likely to vote for him if found guilty in the New York case. 15% said it would make them more likely. July 11th is the sentencing hearing for this case, and then Trump's team can start the appeal process. But before that, Trump's conviction is sure to be a central focus in the first presidential debate set for June 27th. In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Tonight's low temperature is 64 in Savannah, upper 60s east of I-95. Notice farther inland, Screven, Hampton County, getting down to the mid-50s. That's about 5 degrees cooler than where we should be. So open up those windows, turn off the AC. It'll feel great out there starting off your weekend morning tomorrow. Satellite and radar notice, a lot of the rain is to our west, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. It's not severe, but coastal parts here of Georgia and South Carolina, we will be clear all throughout the night. A few clouds will work their way in throughout the Saturday morning hours. 10 a.m. Notice on the immediate coastline, we're still in the low to mid 70s, 81 in Savannah, quickly warming up across Chatham County toward the afternoon hours. That's when mid 80s will settle in for pretty much everyone. 3 p.m. 84 in Savannah, still 70s. Beaufort County down toward Tybee Island, sitting at 78 toward the afternoon. A bit of a sea breeze for the islands. By 7:30, cooling back down to the upper 70s and then 60s overnight as we progress into your Sunday. On a city-by-city look, 81 in Beaufort, 84 Savannah, mid-80s farther inland, 86 down in Alma. And Jessup, tea time forecast, no issues at all. We may have a few clouds toward the afternoon hours, but again, we will be dry. That's the trend all throughout the weekend. Low amounts of humidity, a bit cooler than where we should be. Honestly, A+, 10 out of 10 weekend is in the forecast. And even all throughout the rest of the weekend into next week, most of the rain throughout the weekend is in parts of Alabama and northern Georgia. A quick inch is definitely possible next Tuesday into Wednesday. We mentioned some daytime storms are in the cards, although most likely outdoor plans should be great. There's really no crazy outliers, and severe weather is not necessarily in the forecast as of now. We're going to see temperatures continue to warm up, especially closer to the coast of the southeast down toward Florida. Below average temperatures for Tennessee, northern parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. But again, the big trend for us is going to be slightly warming weather into next week and maybe a rumble here or there, but low confidence. I'm talking about maybe 20%. If that. Tomorrow, 84 degrees for your Saturday, mostly sunny conditions, and it will be pleasant and refreshing. What I mean by that is when you have low dew point numbers, right? Not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. You're not going to feel that stickiness in the air. It'll feel pretty great, but that will return. Oof, look at that. Next 7 days brought to you by Horn Law Firm. 84 for your Friday, 86 for your Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll see temperatures slowly crawl back up. Those overnight lows returning to the 70s and 90s. Could it be excessive heat late next week? Well, the models are indicating mid-90s are definitely in the cards. The big story, though, is notice for the most part, dry stretch will be sticking around. I want to thank all of you at FOX28 for watching me provide all sorts of weather updates for you here in Savannah. Make sure to check out my social medias, Tommy House Weather. It was a pleasure to serve all of you. I'm going to send it right back to you.
A 12-year-old from Florida is now the winner of the 96th annual Scripps National Spelling Bee. Brute Sama is taking home a $50,000 prize, a trophy, and a reference library from Merriam-Webster. Soma secured the top spot after the second ever spell off. That's where the top two contenders spell as many words as possible in 90 seconds. The other 12-year-old taking part, Zaki, spelled 20 words, while Soma spelled 29 words to win it. He says that he studied 10 hours on the weekends and then 6 hours Monday through Friday to prepare for the event.
Yeah, it was kind of exhilarating. In the starting, when they first announced that there's a spell-off, my heart was pumping so fast. But then I realized, because I was practicing spell-offs for 6 months, I realized that maybe I have a shot at winning, and I did.
29 words.
Pretty impressive. Soma says that he studied 10 hours on the weekends, 6 hours again, Monday through Friday, so he was well equipped for this showdown. It's the season of celebration as college graduates look to the next chapter. That means entering the workforce, but landing that job that they want, it can be a challenge. Experts say it could take 5 to 7 months now for graduates to find a job in their field, but there are some tips on how to help you get that job faster. You can start by building a profile of jobs you're interested in applying to. Next, research the companies and find jobs by networking with alumni, family, and friends. Some entry-level jobs require work experience, but it's okay if you don't have any. You can list college sports clubs and organizations on your resume instead. Shows you're good with a team. You can also list jobs that you've held, like babysitting.
That all counts. And those soft skills that you learn, responsibility, integrity, commitment, totally transferable.
While you're waiting until you land that job you want, you can either work part-time or volunteer. 7 in 10 Americans say economic conditions in the U.S. are fair or poor, but concerns over the economy are not stopping Americans from taking risks and opening up their own small businesses. Fox's Mills Hayes is in Minneapolis right now. Mills has more on how businesses there trying to make things work.
A record 5.5 million Americans applied to form a new business last year. Some economic experts tell me that some people are getting tired of corporate America and they just want to be their own bosses.
The chocolate caramel is my favorite.
For years, Melanie Lewis worked in Minneapolis restaurants as a pastry chef until she had an idea.
You know what? I have made other businesses and other companies so much money. Why not take all my brain power and create something for myself?
That's how Perfect Peace Sweets was born.
April 7th of this year was my first full year of being a full-time entrepreneur. It's just been like weddings, which I love. They allow me to be creative.
She's a part of the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the U.S., Black women. The Federal Reserve says Black entrepreneurs are twice as likely to be denied a loan compared to white business owners.
Entrepreneurship is still the way to build that generational wealth. And a small business is the best opportunity there is.
Nonprofit META helps minority-owned businesses get grants or loans. Pimento Jamaican Kitchen is one of those businesses.
What I think the pandemic and the economic downturn did for us is a lot of folks recognize that the 9-to-5 simply isn't the only solution.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce says entrepreneurship is up across the country.
Never before in our history has it been easier for one person to compete against global businesses because of technology.
An economics professor I spoke with tells me that we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to the economy, but the rise in new business is a good sign to show American workers' ability to be flexible and their resiliency. In Minneapolis, Mills Hayes, Fox News.
After the break, the billionaire planning their own Titanic voyage.
If I said to you, focus your energy, where would you start? Let's say you run a business, a school campus, a hospital or government facility. Finding ways to save can be overwhelming. Georgia Power has energy efficiency tips and rebates to help you improve lighting, heating and cooling, and more. Look, you've got a business to run, employees to manage, and numbers to hit. Georgia Power can help you focus your energy where it matters most. Learn more at georgiapower.com today.
We get it. When it comes to driving here, there's only two speeds. All out go and all out stopped. That's why you get a Honda. Athletic, stylish, has hello look at the gas mileage. And comfortable interiors that turn traffic jams into, oh, this is my jam. So stop what you're doing and go all out for the best deals at your local Honda dealer. Honda gets Savannah and the Low Country.
I'm often asked, how'd you become the largest injury firm in the world? The answer is simple. We've won a lot. Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan for the people.
Go COC.
Final closeout on 2023 Ford F-150 Rocky Ridge
get up to $16,000 off MSRP. $16,000 off MSRP on a 2023 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive Rocky Ridge. That's only at O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln, Highway 278 in Hardyville, South Carolina. Thank you very much. May God bless America.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You got to win one first.
Okay.
Win big with McDonald's $5.49 meal deal with your choice of sandwich plus McNuggets, fries, and a drink. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
An Ohio billionaire says he's planning a voyage to the wreckage of the Titanic. This comes less than a year after the Titan submersible imploded on the same voyage, killing 5 people.
This was a terrible disaster, but in our opinion, an avoidable one.
That was real estate and tech entrepreneur Larry Connor, who's now working with Triton Submarines to build a new submersible. The company that built the Titan submersible, OceanGate, was criticized for its lack of testing and safety reviews. Investigations are ongoing into that implosion. Connor says that he's confident this trip, 13,000 feet under the sea, will be different, and he wants to restore confidence in it. He says he's taking his time with the project, with the goal to start research dives by 2026. It'll cost between $13 and $15 million. Now for a programming note, this will be our last broadcast of Fox 28 News at 10 in Savannah. Starting Monday, June 3rd, you can watch the National Desk with the latest breaking news, investigative reports, and fact-based political news right here at 10. We hope you'll join us for the National Desk, America's News Now. As for a personal note, for roughly 7 years, I've had the privilege of reporting and delivering the news for the Coastal Empire and the South Carolina Low Country. This place is a very close space in my heart. A piece of me will always be here as where my family is from. Thank you so much for welcoming us into your homes for your news, weather, and sometimes sports. Thrown in here for all that. Thank you so much for trusting us. Of course, the news never stops. You can always tune into the National Desk for some local weather cut-ins as well. We'll continue to serve you as best we can. Until then, for one last time, have a good night, Savannah.
Vanderpump joins Gordon on Food Stars. Premieres May 22nd on Fox.
To turn your wreck into a check is just a waste of his time. He'll be with you to the end, giving you peace of mind. If you got one call to make and you just don't know, call H-O-S-T-I-L-O in the hospital bed, cause you totaled your car. You're laying there with a broken leg and a fractured arm, and you ask around for help and they keep telling you no, call H-O-S-T-I-L-O. Mike's the man with the plan, so you have got it made, and he won't get a penny till he gets you paid. Get what's right, call Mike, cause I'm telling you so, Mike. H-O-S-T-I-L-O.
Dad, are you certain this is gonna work?
Nothing to it.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love. Printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
Car wreck? Call Owens & Mulherin.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, time is critical.
You've got car repairs, legal deadlines, and medical treatment that can't wait.
The sooner you call Owens & Mulherin, the sooner we can help you.
We don't take a fee from car repairs because you need that money to fix or replace your car. And we can get medical treatment for you even if you don't have health insurance. Call Owens & Mulherin, 212-2100.
It is time for the question. Count the number of noodles, both white and black. How many total noodles are there?
Are you one of 50% of Americans who can answer this question correctly?
Let's look at the answer. 7.
This summer, it's not about what you know.
What happened?
I got the wrong answer.
It's about how you think.
I panicked. Do not feel ashamed. You're as stupid as I am.
Patton Oswalt hosts.
Are you in the top 1%?
The 1% Club premieres Monday, June 3rd on Fox.
This summer, a family trivia competition.
Go, go, yeah!
Where brains and balls collide. Avoid the splash. Get the cash. It's television's ballsiest quiz show.
Why are they risking you?
She's the oldest. She's had enough time to live.
The Quiz with Balls premieres Tuesday, May 28th.
Who said size doesn't matter?
On Fox.